Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. Earlier this year, we took the chop out to Eastbound Get Down in January. And as you saw in the thumbnail, we had a fire. Today I already started using the vacuum to clean it up, but the fire extinguishers made a mess. Did not realize how much of a mess they'd make. It is absolutely covered. There's quite a bit of stuff that's melted. The fuel line is cracked, so I believe it filled up the bottom valley down in there of the intake. So it burnt the distributor wire. Here, let me come around to the other side. As you can see though, it is just coated everywhere, and it's, I don't know if I can rinse it off yet. We'll pull it out after I'll use, this is the front garage's little air tank I use to air up tires or the mower tires or anything else I need. We'll get it aired up because the electrical still works and everything. It didn't really do too much, but we have to pull the carburetor as it got in there. It's nasty everywhere. I need a new air cleaner. I'm probably gonna go ahead and get all of it on the air cleaner. The distributor wire back here, you can see, is melted. It looks like these are okay, they're just filthy. But back there you can see distributor wire is melted, so I'm not gonna take a chance. I'll show you guys in a little bit. We'll get it out. I already went ahead and got a used one. A guy down in Orlando, I went down yesterday and got it. It's actually one of the clear ones, so that'll be interesting. This truck doesn't get driven all the time, just to up and down the trailer and around shows, and that's gonna change. I'd really like to get back to just cruising this thing around on nice days. Like even today's beautiful weather. We're not in the high 90s anymore. Our fall just drops off 10 degrees for us. But I want to get back to driving this. I want to finish this. So this is eventually going to get, my goal is the motor out of the blue truck, the LS from there. We'll talk later about the motor and stuff and what I'm going to do with the blue truck. But for now, I just need to get this up and running. We're going to Slamfest. It's 3 weeks away. So I got to get on the ball. We're doing the limbo contest. They brought it back. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing ready. The top's not in the greatest shape, but you know what? We can fix that later. It's cracked all over. It's destroyed. I got to get it in the sun so I can stretch it. It won't even reach to tighten it. And as you can see, we've got that stuff everywhere, but I can't wait to start getting back on this. Finish the interior, redo these windows, and just get a lot of things fixed up and straightened up. Since building it 10 years ago, the chop was 10 years ago. The truck's been built for over 10, almost 15 years now. Eventually, I talk about this a lot, I want to go lower. I want to build a custom frame for it and take it down lower. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. That was a job. For right now, I'm gonna get it right here and I'm gonna blow it out. You can see all the dust that's in there. I don't want to start it, number one, because the fuel line is busted and some other things. So we're gonna go ahead and get the blower and try to blow everything I can out of here so it's not in the shop. Then we'll yank it inside. Get it inside that AC and start working on it. It's in. It doesn't like to turn with these wheels. These wheels are wider than the ones I had on it before, but that's okay. I'm gonna throw some 2x4s down underneath it, air it out on those until I figure out where I'm putting it. I'm gonna stick it on some of those vehicle movers I have. There they are. And we'll see how those work. These are small. These are wider than my wheels, so they should fit right on there without scratching them up or anything. I also need to measure, see how long they are, make sure when this thing airs out, it ain't gonna hit it. But like I said, we'll go ahead and set some 2x4s down, get it aired out on that, because this front end of the front end doesn't like 80 PSI, it looks like. But that's okay. I've got a bigger tank, bigger volume. I want to upgrade to the 175 max PSI because it'd be really nice to have 150 PSI in the shop and a bigger tank to be able to do all the air ride stuff. I run 200 PSI in there, so I can lift that above the tires usually, but we're not starting it right now. I do want to turn it around, but for right now, I may just do it like this, so when I do get a chance to start it, we can suck all them fumes out of here. All right, truck's in the air. Few things. I need to get the electrical fans going. They're not running for some reason. I'm hoping it's just the relay, which is a relay I put in 10 years ago, tucked up underneath this dash. So I'll have to see what I can get going. I actually need to check a switch because I believe one of them switches is a high. It normally runs on low and you put it on the switch to run it on high. So I'll flip that switch, maybe that switch is off and maybe only one of the relays works. I've already got a piece of hose pulled out. I thought this is what cracked and busted, but it's not broken. So it made it just, it's really hard as a rock, so it needs replaced. But maybe that wasn't the cause. I don't know what the cause of the fire is. Was, should I say. But like I said, there's quite a bit of stuff down here burnt up. I have the plug unplugged over there. So if I already checked, make sure it still cranks, still turns over, it obviously is gonna fire. I'm going to replace this cap. It's melted in a few spots. Rubber right here is melted. But I'll replace that cap and the whole thing. As I've said, we have a clear one back here in the box. So we'll get that out. I'm working on the top to try to be able to use it just for Slamfest, and then I'm gonna figure out something else for the top of here. So I'll get that fuel line on, and then I'll get, what we have to do is we have to pull this first spark plug down here. Hopefully I can access the hole good enough. And I need to get this motor to top dead center before I can pull that distributor out. And when it's at top dead center, usually that pointer is pointing almost to the number 1 cylinder. It's usually to the about to this power steering pump lid. It's usually about right here. It's been a while on these small blocks. I know a lot about them, can start them up, get them running, all that. But I have to maintain them all the time. We have to constantly tune this carburetor. There's a cam in here. This is a built motor that a buddy of mine lent me, and I can't thank him enough. It's been in here for at least 6-7 years. But we're gonna put a different motor in here. I'm ready for something a little more reliable. So unfortunately, I have to put a new gas tank because this is the fuel cell that's in here I got from my brother. It was out of a boat. I worked and learned to weld at an aluminum manufacturing facility. We made boats, docks, not boats, but docks, floating docks, bridges, gangways, stuff like that for Disney, for random ocean projects. And I learned to weld on aluminum. And with aluminum, it's honestly, you gotta go faster. It's a lot more. So when I went to steel, I felt like I was sleeping on the job because you're going so slow to penetrate the steel. So I have a fuel cell that I made at the shop. We cut it down. I had another guy weld it that knew how to weld at the facility because I only know how to MIG weld. I haven't got into TIG yet. Soon, don't worry, I want to venture in. I gotta change that. That tank isn't a pressurized tank. It's because you only need about 7 PSI for carbureted engines. Fuel injected, when you get to regular LSs, you only need, I think it's 58 to 60 PSI, depending on how big of a motor you're running. So I've got to change out the fuel cell to a different fuel cell, probably I wanted to go with a 2nd gen Blazer swap, but the way I'm set up, I have my rear link bars and bags. I'm technically double notched on this S10. I have a notch for the bags, and then there's a notch for the axle housing. So, and then I gotta change the cross member. This cross member's for the 4-cylinder. I originally had a 4-cylinder in here, so I have to change that cross member out. Possibly, I did modify it. I'll have to get new headers, new accessories on the top. I already have fuel lines ran. I ran hard fuel lines in this a long time ago. You can kind of see them right down there. They're ran from the very back. They came off an old Ford van from a junkyard. Back when I built this, I didn't have a shop. I built this in a carport. Chopped it, everything about it, motor swap, everything in a carport. Same with the blue truck. Then I moved into a house with a garage, started working out of it for a couple years, then bought this house and built the shop. But anywho, it's already got hard lines ran. The radiator's already recessed, already got some fans on it. If can't get them working, I'll buy new ones. But I should be able to slide the LS further back. I'll have to get new headers. I already have the motor mounts for the LS because I've been planning to do an LS swap in this thing forever. So let's go ahead and get that fuel line on, and then we'll start tinkering with some other stuff. As you saw, I stuck the paper towel in there, and when it got close to aiming to this spark plug, like I said earlier, it was on the compression stroke, and that's what you want. And when it's on that compression stroke, it'll blow that paper towel out. So I went ahead and took the straw, stuck it in there. There was nothing there. That means the piston was on its way up. Turned it a little bit more, felt the piston, pulled it out. That should be top dead center. And as you see, it's now pretty much pointing to that number one spark plug. Looks like it may be a 1 tooth off. So we'll see. We'll start to get that one pulled out, and then we'll compare them between the two. After that, we will pull the carburetor, and I'm gonna change the gasket underneath it, and I'll more than likely clean it out as best I can with carb cleaner off the vehicle. Then we'll get that put on and go from there. I believe it has a water pump leak, but I'm not sure. So I need to get it all back together, get it outside, get it warmed up to temp, and see if it has that problem. Or I'll leave it in here with a pan under it. I have drip pans, and we'll just open that door. Probably be easiest. That way I ain't gotta take it off jack stands or anything like that at the moment. These small blocks are easy to work on, but they're just way outdated. This one is a 1973 block. So that's 27 years plus 25. I mean, you're looking at, 52 years old. It's been rebuilt, forged internals, gear-to-gear timing, all the good stuff. But it just goes to show. I mean, the S10's a 97. All right, let's get this distributor out, and let's see how we can get this thing running. It's been a while. I want to say, like I said earlier, it's been at least 8 years or longer since I've had this motor in, and I thought I'd be able to pull the distributor out without having to pull the motor, and that's just not the case. It's all I can get. So what I'm going to attempt to do is loosen the mounts that go to the engine block, because I can slide the motor forward and backwards. And if I have room, I'm gonna attempt to slide and pull this motor and transmission forward enough to get that out. So let's just hope. A lot more work than expected, but I need to get this thing running because I want to do the limbo contest at Slamfest. And then it'll be getting an LS swap eventually. I doubt it, but maybe even going lower sooner than we think. Because I've got plenty of room to bring that body down and still clear those wheels. Tried all the way to the end. Won't work. That distributor is not coming out unless that motor is pulled out. It's that tight in there, as you saw. I have it pulled as far as it'll go. Not on the motor mounts, but the oil pan is just touching the cross member. I'd have to pull the motor up and out some to get it out. And I'm not doing all that. So what I need to do, get some light down there, is I want to replace this wire. I don't like it all burnt up. So I need to get this piece here, unscrew this, and go get this piece if they have it. If not, I need to order it. I've already got this back where I believe top dead center is. When I put the button on, it'll aim towards that number one cylinder. I have another cap. This one of these, is it this one? This one is loose. I don't know if you could see it moving. This one, all the points are good. You can see they're, I don't even think this one's been used. I've had it sitting around for a while. I'll go wash it out and let it dry. And we will leave this the way it is so I can access back there more. But once we get the distributor, I guess you'd say rebuilt some, then I need to slide it back. So we'll go ahead and get that ordered if they don't have one locally. All right, little update. I went ahead and took the transmission mount out. Didn't film it because it's down below the truck and you guys wouldn't really see anything. No matter what I do, I cannot get that distributor base out. And while doing so, what fun, this might leak oil because the little felt O-ring that goes between the two fell down in between. So that's gonna be fun, but you know what? We only got one show left, and we'll see if it makes it. I went ahead the other day and got a spare distributor for the wire from somebody. Did not know, drove 40 minutes across town to get this one. Well, the piece was rusted out, and I didn't film it just now because I'm getting pretty frustrated with this truck. This chop is fighting me. Oh yeah, we'll talk about this soon. This chop is fighting me to go to Slamfest every turn. Like I said, the gasket fell in there, down in the crankcase. It's a little felt gasket, so let's just hope it gets chewed up and spit out somewhere. But anywho, this was rusted. I let it sit for 2 or 3 days. It was a little Phillips head screw. It wasn't coming out. So I went ahead and flipped it upside down, drilled out the backside, and got it out. I don't know where I set the screw for it. It doesn't matter. This is now trash. The other piece, like I said, is rusted. So we're gonna take a gamble because I don't have enough time. It's Tuesday. Let's see what my watch says. It's Monday, October 6th. Slamfest is Saturday. And I can't get this part in. This is the one that came out. You can see it all burnt. Beautiful. No weather problems, nothing like that. I wonder if I can take this out and switch a wire somewhere. This one, pins are good, but it's rusted. So I'm hoping this isn't shot. I'm gonna clean that bottom out where the connectors are. Same with this one. We'll sand those down and get this pretty clean and make sure there's contact. And then we're gonna have to put this one in. Back with the ignition. This piece will go in here. And then we'll put the new cap that I already washed out that you saw earlier. And the button. I gotta change out the ignition coil from the top of this one and put it into this setup here. But we'll do all that and see what we can do. After that, after we get that distributor working the best we can, I gotta take that carburetor off and clean it. So this video is getting a little long, so let's see what we can get done. Hey, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell for me. That way you get notified when we're working on that next project and we can talk about that. With a little bit of manipulation, that's what I was looking for. All right, now that that's out, I'll go ahead and try to fish out the gasket. I believe I can see it down there. And this distributor still looks good. Nothing wrong with it. Teeth look good. So if I can find that washer and get it out of there, I'll go ahead and rebuild this distributor and we'll just put it back in. My main thing was getting this out so I can try to get that gasket. We'll see. I need to go get one of those claw reachy things I do not have. Then when we get back, we'll use it and try to get the gasket. Like I said, I believe I see it down there pushed off to the side. Success. So now I don't have to worry about the gasket. I got the gasket out. I'll get online and there's no pieces. It looks like it just ripped. So there's no pieces. It wasn't down at the oil pump. It actually, once it passed through, it actually sat right on the intake. Instead of getting me one of those claw thingies, I just grabbed a hanger, made me a little pickup. And while I was down in there, I said, well, I don't see how it could have got shoved way down in there. It would have got destroyed. I would have seen some evidence. So I took this little hooky hook and I kind of just fished around in there and I felt tug on something, played with it, saw it, pulled it out. All right, like I said, we'll go get another gasket and we'll start putting everything back together. Back with the new gasket. Just what we needed. Only cost $1. We also went ahead, as you saw, and got all this back together. So that'll work for now. So let's go ahead and drop that back in. All right, motor's bolted back to the motor mounts. Fan is in and bolted back down. The hose clamped back down out of the way. Nice gap between everything. I can still get my finger back here behind the distributor so I can still move it. Like I said, it's just loose enough to be able to adjust the timing. Get that guy up over there. Yeah, that way I don't pinch it. The fan works. I didn't have a problem with it. I accidentally left my fan switch off. So we're good on the fan. Only thing left is I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna see if we can get this running without having to take that carburetor off yet. If I need a gasket replaced for it, I do have that ready to go right here. I also got a push start for the chop. After Slamfest, and when I do the motor swap in this, I think I'm gonna do a push start for it. No more ignition, no more turning the key. I also want to change out the column to a solid column with no ignition or nothing on it. I want to delete all the wipers. The only thing I want on it is the blinker. I want to put the wipers and everything in the holes. There's holes throughout the dash. I want to clean up the gauges, get rid of these switches and make a small, nicer panel. That's the stock headlight switch and everything, dimmer. I'll put a headlight switch. I want to finish all this up in here. Build a console. I just want to finish it up. I want to make it more presentable. But it's fun. Once I get this LS in it, I'm gonna be driving it a lot more. So let's see if we can get this thing fired up and go from there. Last thing left after we get it fired up and see if we can get it running is to see if there's a coolant leak. Got it started. So I started messing with it to see if we can get it running better. As you can see, it was puffing some black smoke, and now the idle is just up there. So while in doing so, I had to hook up the charger, and the coolant leak that I remembered popped back up. And it looks like it's leaking down the bottom of the water pump and going to that hose and then dripping down to it. So we gotta do this water pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and see where I can find one, and then we'll start tearing everything down so we can get to it. All I'm gonna have to do is take the fan out, loosen the bolts to the pulley. Once I take that pulley off, or loosen it, I'll take the belt off, the pulley off, these fans will be out of the way. Then I'll have to drain the coolant. Then I can take the 2 bolts on each side and get that water pump out. One step at a time. It's Wednesday, we're getting close. Let's see if we can make it. I am back with the new water pump. Ran down another town over to grab it. It was nice they have it. A lot more movement here. This one real tight. And when you look inside, that propeller's not moving. This one moves. Because it was in such a tight spot down in there, I didn't film it. But let me show you, I did clean up the mounting surface for the water pump in preparation for the gaskets. As you can see, the mounting surfaces are nice and clean. We're not going to talk about the motor. That motor's coming out. I'm only getting this ready for the show and then to move around from the front garage back into here after I have the motor for this truck prepped. I'm putting the blue truck's motor into this one, and I'm building that 6.0 for the blue Silverado. So let's go ahead and get this back in, torque down, and done. Then we can move back to the carburetor. Or if it's the carb, we'll figure it out. I don't know if it's just the timing or if I have the carb set wrong, but I need to get it running all right to where I can set the timing. Hey, if you've been watching this long, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. That way you get notified when I drop this video and what we're doing with it. After getting everything back together, the carb is causing the truck to idle at about 3,000 RPM. So I back it down. You can see evidence right there, all the way around the back, all the way around this thing starting to leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that gasket I have in it. This one wasn't working. I am also going to go ahead and spray this out in the parts cleaner bin I have over there. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna set that thing in there and I'm gonna clean it out the best I can and see if we can get this thing working. This and timing it is the only thing holding us back. So I'm not gonna film that. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock it out real quick and then I'll get back with you. that's what success looks like. We accomplished the goal that we set out to do. Clean up that carburetor, put a new gasket on it, no leaks. Now we can go ahead and time it. And you can go ahead and pop that door open so I can keep fresh air in here. Once we time it, I'll go ahead and put it back on the floor and we'll leave it in here and start loading up. It's Thursday, October 9th. Tomorrow we'll load it up and then we'll head out early Saturday morning. There it is, all done and ready for Slamfest. And it could actually probably be a driver for a little while. It needed that TLC. So I went ahead and put a new air filter on it. The old one was breathable. I mean, you could see through it, but it's nasty. Let's let this motor have its last hurrah and be able to breathe. Tighten down the distributor. We already timed it, as you saw. Temperatures look good. When I was letting it run for the whole time that we were timing it, I think it got up to 128, 130. So I'm content and comfortable with that. And it's ready to go. If this rain slows down tomorrow, it's not supposed to, but tomorrow's Friday, the day before. If it slows down, I'll give this thing a good wash, and we'll see if we can get that top on for one last hurrah. It's been a journey. I'm so glad everything worked out. It got quite stressful. There's a few times I thought, it ain't going, and that can't happen. I'm ready to go on to phase 2 with it after this, or worst case scenario, because I have to build that motor, then swap it in the blue cat eye, then I can start getting the blue motor ready for this one. I'm not sure if I want to just leave it the way it is because it runs fine, or if I want to throw a bigger cam, a turbo. I don't know what I want to do yet. You got any ideas? Twin turbo on this, big supercharger. What do you want to see motorized on this? Motor-wise on this. It will be a 5.3 base. So it's a 5.3. It's already got a stage 2 cam. It's already got the Truin rocker upgrade. It's already got a new oil pump. So the motor that's in Pete would rock this truck. So we'll see. I may just slap it in and enjoy it as a driver with some power. But that's it. It's all the cleanup I'm gonna do. There are some other things that are still kind of fire extinguisher covered. And I will be bringing my fire extinguisher, and I plan on buying another one for now on to have with me in case this stuff happens again. It's been a long journey. If you wouldn't mind and you watch this whole video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell so you get notified when I have, like I said, new content coming in. I'll explain soon what we're doing to this one. Go ahead and leave a comment. Share it. Let's get this algorithm going. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching.